So, could you possibly squint your eyes and cover your ears every single time I say 7.04 and 7.05, because otherwise you'll find out that this guide is horribly out of date. It was finished a few weeks ago and never got around to uploading it. This is a problem that I have quite a lot. In fact, you're about to get 3 more videos. I think currently that my Wraith King guide holds the record for the shortest running way to play guide. Out of the 100 heroes in Dota, I think only really Lycan could possibly beat that. Even Viper has some nuance to him. So let's see what happens. Really tempted to just suggest Echo Saber and Solar Crest again. They work on every hero. But here, just this once, I'll do the other only way to play guide, ignoring Echo Saber and Solar Crest altogether, even though it's the best build. Lycan's another one of those dire heroes who turns out to be easily the most wholesome of any of the Radiant. Turns out his leader was pretty much the Mad King from Game of Thrones, and from up north, Lycan's House of Ambry came down to overthrow him, and coincidentally, I'm sure, the king captures Lycan's dad, brings him in the Great Hall, and tortures him, like that book that I once read. And then the king curses Lycan, turning him into a wolf and setting him to kill his dad. But I mean, giving your enemy 1,000 times more strength and then simply asking him nicely to not immediately kill you is a bit dumb. So Lycan's skin metamorphosizes into a werewolf, kills his captors, but his dad dies in the chaos. And now Lycan is the last member of his house. And he's a wolf, and they put him on Dire. A wolf. On Dire. A dire wolf. It's Game of Thrones, okay? It's very clearly inspired by Game of Thrones. So now you legit have an overthrow game with every major house in the show. Lion for Lannister, Lycan for Stark, Tidehunter for Greyjoy. Unfortunately, there's no wet blanket hero, so nobody can actually roleplay as Daenerys yet. Lycan is the ultimate in running away from a fight like a little bitch. I guess also he's good at split pushing. Personally, the heroes he beats doesn't really matter. He's more of a hero who's always good unless he himself is countered. So let's just put a big T to represent teamfighters here, and a big S to represent slows. And maybe the S and the T are good friends, and the S says hi to him. Like that. But on to the more important part, Lycan is a hero with absolutely no magical damage who also sucks at man-fighting people. So he's stuck in this void where he can enter any fight, but once there he can't really do anything to their carry. The top tier is occupied by 3 heroes, obviously having a lot of hastily attacking units all around you probably isn't the best against Axe. You can't really run from a fight against Bloodseeker, and you can't turn to fight at all against a Sven. A step down from that are the rest of the man-fighting carries, as well as illusions or summon-based heroes, armor-based heroes, stun-based heroes, and weddings. Avoid them if you can. As with every only way to play guide I've done, I cut myself while I masturbate. You'll notice I didn't really specify if we're laning or jungling with this guy. Suffice to say it's always better to lane, but Lycan always has the option to jungle if he can't lane, which is good for a pub game. What's frustrating about Lycan is that all 3 of his basic abilities are great and wanting to be max first. So let's just weigh up our options. Summon Wolves. Summons Wolves. At level 3 they get Cripple, a 20% chance to cause 32 extra damage and a 60 attack speed slow for 4 seconds. At level 4 they get Permanent Invisibility, but they also can still block. They start with 80% magic resistance, 200 HP and 17 damage. This linearly scales up to 320 HP and 46 damage. And they also have a better base attack time than any hero in the game, which means that attack speed is really good. Unfortunately, they're summons, they can't hold items, so this affects the build. A bonus 46 damage twice over is always appealing, but wolves run the risk of dying fast, and maybe you already do enough damage. Howl is a balanced skill right now. Oh shoot, actually, if I say it's balanced, Icefrog will come in and change it, so I'll go back and edit that. For 13 seconds at level 4, it gives all heroes 25 attack damage and 200 extra health. It also gives minions a portion of that, but at night that's doubled to 400 extra health and 50 damage. And here's the kicker. After it ends, the unit's maximum health reverts, but its current HP does not. So every time you cast this, you are permanently healing every unit in the game. It equates to a global mechanism every time you cast it. Feral Impulse gives HP regen and damage to Lycan and all those pets. Pretty simple. At max it gives 10 HP regen, about 2 Ring of Hells. Or a Refresher, if we want to get really complicated with it. So there's our options. They all sound great. Feral Impulse makes sure we have sustain in lane. Howl does less for us, but more for the team. Summons wolves. Fun fact, Feral Impulse and Howl give the exact same bonus damage at level 1. but I get Howl first, activate it as soon as all 3 lanes meet equilibrium, and immediately give my allies a boost. I then alternate between Feral and Howl depending on how much regen I need versus how much my team needs, and Wolves come way later. Alright, the first hurdle down. Since we're taking a Lycan safe lane, just get the typical tangos and a stout shield, maybe Blightstone, for no reason. I mean, I'm very aware it could build into Solar Crest, but that's just happenstance. It's a good item by itself. After that, I usually just go plain old brown boots. In reality, my wolves don't really benefit from me personally attacking faster by going treads. They do as they please, and so it's 1000 gold closer to a more important item like Necro 3 or Boots of Travel. For core items, and considering this is a fighting Lycan build, we can go Armlet or Helm of the Dominator or Echo Saber or really anything. You'd be hard pressed to find something that isn't good on this guy. And now obviously the comments are going to be filled with people who will try exactly that. Oh, ain't I funny? I suggested Dagon. Late game, pick up AC. Abyssal's always good. Consider going Bloodthorn if you really want to. For a summon based hero, it's more efficient than MKB. But before all that, we take our Blightstone and we build Deso, not Solar Crest. Yep, on the one person it makes sense to get Solar Crest on, I'm adamantly saying maybe don't. Yeah, Desolator works on towers, Solar Crest doesn't. That's pretty much it. If you want a jungle, swap out Blight for Clarities. You legit can only cast Summon Wolves twice without it. Speaking of wolves, not only are they a source of damage, you can also scout with them, split push with them in Howl, and cancel blinks. When they're invis, M-click them on a hero and they'll follow them. When you see an axe running at you, have your wolf give him a little love bite every now and again, and hey, a permanent blink disable. And you can body block with them. But you can also eat soup with a fork. I wouldn't recommend it. Lycan's wolves have the smallest collision box of any unit in the game. It's about 4 times harder than just doing it with a regular hero. I personally pop ult as I'm predicting a fight to start, and then I flank with my armada and whack away at the supports at the back. But you can also initiate without ult and pop it as they run. It's up to you to really feel when you'll need it. And set control click to control all of your units in the options. You'll need that a lot.